Hey y'all, welcome back to a new video. Um, as y'all see by the title, y'all already know what I'm gonna be talking about today. So let's take them glasses off. So this video basically gonna be a combined video, basically not congested, but all in basically just one video of what I've tried to record and made separate videos about. I just haven't loaded them yet. So Um, like I said, I had attempted to make these videos multiple times, but now I feel like this is a great time. So I woke up early, y'all. I woke up about 3:30. I've been up early, so I know I'm be trying to take an early nap. Right now, everybody else is asleep. Jay sleep, my daughter sleep. But I'm up, and I chose to work out for about an hour, just adjusting my schedule. Well, my schedule is gonna be adjusted anyway, so um, I just be going back and forth contemplating on certain things, y'all. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna make me some coffee. Like right now, it's 5 o'clock, so I've been up for almost 2 hours. I won't say exactly three. It probably was a little after three, but I know I started working out around. Yeah, y'all. Basically, yeah. So it was about three. Started working out around like 3ish. I got done with my workout around 4, but it felt like a 4 hour workout. Might have been 45 minutes, so we'll just say like that. Um, but yeah, you guys, this video is like basically a chat catch up type video, and just telling y'all my plans pretty much for the week, and kind of catching y'all up on like what's been going on, where I've been. I kind of took a little step back for a second. We ain't really had much going on, and just just a little gist of things basically. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe if y'all new to this channel. Don't go off this video. Check some of my other videos. I usually talk about mom content, controversial things that's contrary and people don't really want to talk about. And I also do um every now and then talk about nails, my nail brand and stuff like that. But I stepped away a little bit from that. So yeah, now that it's getting daytime, it's getting more closer to the morning. Like I said, I have to adjust myself. I'm kind of like on adjust. I don't really like to be up at this time of the hour, early before it start getting dark. I mean, before it start lightening up. And when it's dark, it seemed like it give me time to think about things I don't want to really think about. Um, if I was depressed, like I love the weekend. Yesterday went pretty good. Sunday was a great, I had a great weekend basically. And it's just like, I don't know, getting back to the, now it's Monday, and here we go. Um, my classes, if y'all don't know, I'm taking business classes. My classes start back up on May 2nd, so we had a couple days off to where we didn't have to worry, I don't have to worry about schoolwork. I'm pretty much done. I just finished my psychology class, and yeah, that was a little bit. Yeah, the teacher kind of put me through with that. Um, he had me thinking, so, and so that was that. We pretty much, had family time and stuff like that. Like the weather still is up and down, y'all. So it's kind of making it to where we can't do the things we want to do. Let me try to bring this. I like the angle. I feel like I'm talking low for y'all, and y'all know I'm good at talking low. So I feel like, let me just try to adjust this a little bit. If it's gonna let me, if not, then I'm gonna have to put that back where it was. I'm trying to have it up a little bit higher though. Hopefully that work out good. But yeah, y'all. So because I do want y'all to be able to hear me, obviously. I have my little J pillow there. Just I don't know. I just wanted to hold that. But yeah, y'all. If y'all can see, I probably can see back there. Um, yeah. So yeah, y'all. Where was I? Where was I at with that? Um, Oh, okay. This week, I'm supposed to be going, with my mom to you know, get her, nails and feet done and stuff like that. I don't usually go out. I'm trying to, spend more time though. We still in the process of, getting a new car and stuff like that. So, pretty much, we've been kind of, with that and the weather rather, more so the weather, but with that and the weather, we've been pretty much like around the house and stuff like that, y'all. So yesterday kind of was the first time we really kind of went out, pretty much all together as a family and stuff like that. So that was really nice, to go out and, enjoy the sights, just like take a nice little family walk and we got our daughter a bunch of little candies and stuff like that, which we'll probably see, throw some little clips in there or I don't know. I just don't know if I'm deciding to load the other video. So just in case, I'm pretty much giving summing everything up in the gist in this video. I didn't even know if I still wanted to do like this content because like as y'all know, I'm not monetized right now, so you know I'm not getting revenue off of this, and it's just a process for me. But I do be needing stuff to do with my time, so I'm occupying my mind because otherwise, my mind think, especially when I'm not in my, if I don't have no creative shorts or content to talk about, you know, my mind thinking right now. I don't have schoolwork. I'm pretty much the things that I usually would fill my mind. Um, I don't have to do right now. My daughter's sleep, and like I said, I already did my workout and my, like just the things I wouldn't do. So I'm pretty much left to kind of think right now. But I'm gonna make me some coffee. I got some delicious cold coffee in here to make in a minute. So, but I just wanted to give myself a second after working out to go ahead and do that. Then that's another thing. Just I've been pretty good with the coffee, you guys, lately. I've been really disciplining myself. I used to make pots of coffee, and so therefore like the cold coffee that you would buy at the store, like the coffee made coffee and stuff like that, or Starbucks that is already made, that didn't really do anything to me for me. But then it became a point where the coffee I would make, it didn't matter how strong it was and stuff. I like Folgers mostly, but if I can get the luxury, I'll get Starbucks. But I mostly drink Folgers, and I make it myself. That wasn't doing anything for me, at anymore. I'm just buying, we're just buying it. Well, my husband, he just buying it for me and stuff at this point, and it wasn't doing anything. So, just long story short, I made a video where a couple weeks back where I said I wanted to cut out coffee. So that's pretty much where I am right now, and just trying to discipline myself on a few things, which is very hard. I kind of still feel at that, feel at that stage. If anybody don't know, I used to I used to be a heavy 420 embracer and stuff like that. Like I used to partake taking that, a lot before I had my daughter and everything, and she kind of helped shape that for me. So I don't smoke anymore, which I am happy about that. I don't miss it, but now I feel like my caffeine, the coffee that was there way before I smoked, before anything. Like I had been drinking coffee since I low key was a little kid, like not how I drink it obviously now, but I had been drinking it for a while, for 20 plus years. So now and I know that that's coming to a point how I was drinking it 4 or 5 times a day. An 8 ounce cup, it wasn't good, especially like before when I was working. It was understandable, but now it's like I'm a stay at home mom. I'm not really, and not that in itself, I don't know how to feel. I'm gonna do a separate video about that because I did get asked you know why things changed and how do I feel about that. That's gonna have to be a separate video. But yeah, you guys, so I just been, pretty much, that's what's been going on. I'm here still. I just, pulled back a little bit. Um, I've been kind of up and down with my moves just because it's so much change going on for me right now. And, I don't know how to take that. I was supposed to be going back to the healthcare field, but me and my husband kind of had a talk, and, like, it was a reason why I left. Um, it's definitely pros and cons for why I left. More cons for sure. It was my choice to leave, and I am a person that have a hard time with sticking to things. When I say like working out, for instance, or like just things that I set for myself, I be wanting to see them through, and like this supposed to be my time to see it through. So roles are changing. My husband, he is a vet, but he want to return back to work, and it's hard, with the roles changing and stuff like that, but it is something that does need to be done. I don't believe that it's for a specific person. I grew up, I just was a workaholic. I've been working since I've been 15, so for me, I don't have enough to do with my time. And yes, I have a daughter, but it's like, with the weather, I like to be outside now. She likes to be outside too. And I definitely want to get out and take more walks and stuff like that. Um, but it's only but so much to do around the area I live in. I don't be liking to drive. First off, he gonna have a car most of the time, so and to me, like I said, we be in the house so much. It's only but so much I can do in the house. So what I used to work. That's how I used to keep my most of my days occupied, and I don't know how to process that. And if it's any other stay at or other moms that have experienced that, let me know what y'all do or have done to counteract that or combat that feeling of you know like I feel like I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like I can't keep busy enough, if that makes sense, even though it's things that is like the house is it's nothing for me to do. But I mean, so yeah, you guys, not so that's pretty much what's going on with that. um I woke up, like I said, early this morning. I needed to work out. I missed my last workout on Saturday, so I did need to work out, and I feel great about that. But like now that it's just me up, I am left with my thoughts, and they just go back to the fact that I want to go back to work, but I know that me going to school right now is the right time. This is what I need to be doing. um it's just the day by day. I know that the things that's worth it, you do have to wait for. Anything that's worth it takes time, basically. And I am not the most patient person, so I'm like battling with my patience right now. um but once my daughter wakes up, I did want to do her hair this morning. Jay, he got some things to do. He like I said, we in the process of getting a new car, so I know that once things, start rolling, that'll be good. But I feel like then he gonna be going back to work. He's gonna be doing night shift, which I did night shift, and it do work, but um like in a way, I don't know how to feel about that either, y'all. But I understand that people do it and stuff like that, and it is, I know why I did it too. Like I did it for a little bit after I had my daughter as well. So I do know why he doing it, and it wasn't no better when I was doing it than him doing it. I know why he doing it. Like I said, I know why I did it. And it just make you feel like I know I did all shifts basically, especially in the healthcare field. Evenings, I feel like take up most of your day. You don't got time with your family. At least on a night shift, we will be sleep. It do give me more time to bond with my daughter. She obviously used to sleeping by herself, but then like it just give me more time. Like we done started that process already, to where we sleep on we'll sleep on our little pull out couch that I'm sitting on right now. It's a it's a sofa, but then it also converts to a pull out couch, and it is comfy. It's very comfy. And I just bordered her pillows around or whatever, and we just lay down like that. And the TV right there, so we can watch movies and stuff. I don't like the idea anyways of of me sleep. I'll be first off up paranoid, so I gotta see and hear what's going on around me at all times, like and that's another thing. But I feel like I mean, and I've my mom offered also to watch my daughter and stuff, but I just feel like I don't want to pry. I was gonna go back to work, but I do feel like too. I don't want to do too much, and I've already came so far with the schooling. Like I am not almost done, but I'm getting close to being done with my degree. So I do want to push, and I don't want to start working. I am a person that is not good at multitasking, like certain things like that, like full time going to work or part time going to work. It just the stress, like depending on how stressful it is. Being a mom obviously it's not stressful at this point. I've been doing that, I done got used to that now. So, and just the thought of me returning back to the healthcare field does not set easy on my stomach. So, it's just like me battling, like I said, me battling with my emotions, y'all. I don't know if I'm the only one that felt that way or have ever felt that way. Like you want to do something, but you know it's not good for you, but your mind, your pride just won't let you knock that thought out your head. And like I know schooling is good for me right now. I don't want to be an aide forever, obviously. As far as saying, oh, that's what I earned as a, that's a certificate for me. Not saying that it's nothing, but I just want better. I do want better. I want to put myself in a better position, but I'm just dealing with the day in day out of that right now, and it sucks, y'all. Like usually, before I would have probably smoked. When I was still smoking, I would have smoked a blunt or something like that to help me counteract. And I'm just being real, y'all, because that's what y'all know about me on this channel. But ever since I stopped, it's been like, it's been some months now. Ever since I stopped, I don't do that no more. So I'm more sober. My mind is more clear, and I'm more, where I'm thinking now. And I don't really drink to begin with. Besides coffee, I don't really drink to begin with. So I feel like I'm slowly knocking out all that, those toxic things, trying to fill it with more discipline and structure that I didn't have. I didn't used to work out like that. Um, and I never really push myself for that stuff, and it is hard to discipline yourself. So unless you're used to that. So but yeah, it's going, y'all. Basically it's going. And if y'all see me squinting, I wear glasses. So I wear glasses, but they broke, and I'm trying to make the videos without them, so that way I know it's like, yeah. But so I'm trying to get out. I'm also a homebody too. That's another thing too. Like I done became a homebody. Like I be wanting to get out, but then when I get out, um, I don't like being around a bunch of people and stuff like that. So, and driving, I stopped driving because I noticed that I got bad road rage. Before it used to be fun, and but like where I live, it's not fun nowhere more. It's very trafficy, and people just drive crazy. They don't care. They'll pull out at a red light. They'll pull out in front of cops. Cops don't. It's just like, yeah. So and it's just like, yeah, as soon as it's nice, it's people doing people doing Iggerish stuff. So it's like, yeah, like as soon as it get nice. But yeah, it's just, yeah, y'all. Like I'm just pretty much going through it right now with my emotions, stuff like that. And yeah, so I don't know. And then I don't know when everybody waking up too. So I'm like, I'm just up pretty much. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I just got up and started working out and all that stuff like that too. Um, I don't know what, and I don't know what to do. I want to put my nails on. I said I was gonna be doing my nails, my press-ons and stuff like that. I do want to put those on, but I do want to do my daughter's hair first. It need to be refreshing, and I just feel like I need to do that first. I will be changing up my style too. So my mom's supposed to be doing my hair in a nice little short style, and I kind of can't wait for that. So that way I can just switch up and stuff like that, feel different, have something different going on. I am gonna miss my husband though when he do this shift, y'all. Like I said, I know why he doing it, and it do give me time to just, you know, like do what I need to do for our daughter. I'm more of the disciplinary parent, so it give me time to, get her on track where I need to get her. Like, she going through potty training right now, and coming off the pacifier fully. no pacifier. So giving me time to do that, for her to see me, for her to know, as a young lady, or know as a baby growing into being a girl, and just set her up for basically life and stuff like that, y'all. Um, it's only so much a dad can do, for a girl, and stuff like that. So I'm probably rambling a little bit too. I don't know. But I just, like I said, that's just how I'm feeling this morning, y'all. Just felt like talking and stuff like that, just to get some of that off my chest. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much in a nutshell what's been going on, what's going on. Kind of want to, take this week a little slow. But I kind of want to get through this week to see what this week hold. Seeing if we, possibly getting a new car. That's one of the real things that we've been trying to work on, is getting a car by next week. End of this week, next week. So that'll be good if so. And like I said, my husband, he started his job soon, so it's just so surreal because I'm used to him being, a vet and being at home, and I'm used to me being the one working. But I just became very burnt out with that too, y'all. Like that's just another thing. I am gonna put my glasses on, y'all, because I kind of want me some coffee, so don't mind that. But I I just that's how I feel, y'all. Um, like I said, in a nutshell, I'll be looking around. Hold on, yeah. So yeah, it's 5 o'clock, y'all. Like I said, usually once the daylight, and I don't know if I'm the only one like that too. Like it's just, like, you be up at nighttime and just, you be thinking. But once the daylight hit, I know I'll be feeling much better. Like it's just, it ain't, and then it's a little quiet, like I'm used to when I am up like this is when I was doing night shift as well too, because that was the easier shift, in the healthcare field. Anybody that worked in the healthcare field, they know it's easy in a way. Obviously, it's not easy and you losing sleep. You're not gonna have that sleep. And that's the thing too, I'm not sleep, so I'm thinking. I tend to overthink sometimes. And but I did the things that I needed to do today, which was work out. And our dryer, is broke, like it's just, things like just things like that that's going on, y'all. That's not stacking up, stuff that, so we got to get the part for that today. Um, Otherwise, I would like to wash clothes and stuff like that, or dry clothes, but I'm kind of paranoid with the idea of drying my clothes. Like I wash her good, but I'm paranoid with the idea of drying my clothes at the laundry mat, y'all. So, and my husband is too, so he like, yeah, we'll just order the part, stuff like that. So luckily we do got clothes. Luckily they not like filled all the way up. We do got clothes to wear, but I don't like, it's like the gas tank for me. When I see that it's getting about close to half full, the laundry, I don't like it getting to or full to the top. I hear sirens outside right now. I don't like it getting even to the point of close to the top, and so it's kind of making me, nervous there. Like, oh, I don't want it to get full, and then we don't have nothing to wear, and we still gotta wait for the stuff to, for the part to get here, so it can be fixed. But I feel like I'm just over worrying myself now, y'all, like with that. But it's just still like, I just hope that we can get the part in time so that way I can, wash the stuff before it do pile up. But other than that, y'all, it's been pretty good. Yeah, my neck, y'all. I know I'm gonna feel it in the morning because, like I said, I worked out and I really pushed myself, so I know I'm gonna be feeling that in the morning. But yeah, it sound like they coming this way, the sirens. But I am gonna make me some coffee. I just wanted to give y'all this little rant. Like, I know sometimes, it do feel like it's just me, and then I'm here doing the videos, and I never really realized how lonely, especially when it's just me up right now, how lonely this house can be. I look around and I'm like, yeah, the cow print, and, in the kitchen, yeah, the nice things, and it could be cozy. I probably like me a candle, y'all. And now that it is a little earlier, like I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep right now. I don't want to drift off on the couch. I don't want to go back upstairs and disturb my husband because I think he went to sleep at like 3. I pretty much woke up when he was going to sleep. And that was like, because he had a nap yesterday. So, I was up, it just be like we take turns. Sometimes that make me feel like, like we never had that time to just, we do, but, you know, I don't know, if I'm how to explain that, without making it sound bad, y'all. Like, but it's just hard. Basically, it's hard, and stuff like that. Like we're obviously here together and stuff like that. But I'm tired. He woke. I'm tired. I mean, or it's the opposite. Or I'm woke. He's tired. It'd be like that. And obviously, we're parents and stuff. So that changed with dynamics and stuff like that. We know why. Um, I know that things that he wants to. He did not like the idea, even though he was providing and stuff like that, and he still was taking care of a lot of the bills. I was working just to make little pocket change and stuff like that, make my own pretty much little pocket change. He didn't like the idea of him, me working and, just in the healthcare field, some of the places I was working at wasn't the greatest. He didn't like that idea either, it didn't sit well on him. And, he felt like a stigma with, some vets, not saying every vet, but some vets that may feel like him, where it was hard for him to get a job. He just wanted the experience, after being out of the service so long. Um, he want to know how it feel. He is young, so he want to know how it feel to work, again, work an actual job, that he can work and get paid for versus, he just get paid and, stuff like that for being a vet. I get it, I understand, my pride fought with me for a second with that, like, oh, because, I feel like, obviously somebody got to stay home with our daughter. I'm not going to load my mom with all of that, I feel that's not her job. If we really need her in an emergency situation, I know that she's there for me, but to just drop her, oh, here, yeah, here you go, and, oh, because I'm selfishly feeling the need to work, like, I feel like, I need to focus on school and I'm doing that from home. So, I'm already home. I don't really go out. So what is the point of me wanting to rush to go get a job just because, it seems competitive to then like I'm competing with my husband at that point. And I don't need to work if he's working. Like if he's working, I'm gonna let him work. But sometimes my my pride do get like, oh, I wish I could work at the same time, or why can't we both work? So, but I know why. So, but yeah, you guys, that's pretty much what's been going on. I am still here. Um, I still load every now and then. I might put a couple videos up after this too, you guys. But just right now, I'm just up with my thoughts, and that's pretty much where this video came from. As well as like I said, people want, it was a few of my subscribers that wanted to know like where I've been and what was going on, and just I look at it in a way of checking on me and stuff because I was going so hard with them shorts at one point, and then I just kind of stopped out of nowhere. Now my ear is ringing. Anybody believe in that little saying when your ear ring is somebody talking about you? Yeah. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much the gist of this video. I'm gonna make me a little small cup of coffee, and I do like to read, so I'm probably gonna find a book to read or something like that. Get off this social media, or at least after I load up my content, put on some cozy music, and yeah. Like I said, y'all, I be feeling like I'm hearing shit. Hold on. All right, y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because I'm just rambling about the same stuff. And yeah, that's just me being transparent. Like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully the next video be a little bit more upbeat.